Hello, beautiful income replacers. Really excited to be with you today to talk about how to become more confident now so that you can replace your income. And maybe you know that a lack of confidence is holding you back from building your business, making more money, and replacing your income doing what you love. Or maybe you feel like, I'm not sure that's true for me, but I'll check it out anyway. Regardless of where you are, I'm so glad that you're here because it could be that today nothing could be more important for you to hear. It could be that nothing could be more important for you to hear than how to become more confident so you can replace your income. So I'm Christine McAllister. Hi, that's Isley, one of my rescue dogs walking around in the background. This is my book, The Income Replacement Formula, 7 Simple Steps to Doing What You Love and Making 6 Figures from Anywhere. And that's what we're here to talk about doing, right? We're here to talk about one of the very most important pieces in replacing your income and then some. Because if you're a high achiever, and if you ever struggle with self-doubt, which I've never met a high achiever who doesn't, if you have been finding yourself feeling scared of putting yourself out there, of saying how much you charge, if you've been finding yourself procrastinating on anything, if you've been finding yourself being a perfectionist about anything, then it's very, very likely that becoming more confident could help solve some of those problems. So this is what we want to talk about. Now, the first thing that I want to say is it's not a fatal flaw for you that you aren't more confident. So in high school, I was the kid, I was a nice kid, and I was a nerd. Can anyone out there relate? Let me know. Maybe you were the popular kid. That was not me. I was a nice kid. And I was a nerd. I was the kid who everybody wrote in their yearbook, "Thanks so much for helping me with my homework." Like, that's the feedback that I got. Not, "Hey, remember all those great times that we had?" It was like, "Thanks for helping me with my homework." And so I would look around at my friends who were like getting all the guys and like just seemed to have that je ne sais quoi, like confidence, and go, wow, they have that and I don't. Stinks for me. Like, I didn't know at the time that this was something that could be developed. And frankly, then when I went on to college and grad school and got my first job, what was assumed and perpetuated as I learned and was trained to think like an employee is that somebody else knows better. Somebody else knows better. Somebody else is in charge, right? Somebody else is in charge of my life. My boss tells me what to do. My job description tells me what to do, right? Department meetings tell me what to do. And I live within those confines, and that's how I bring home a paycheck. Now does that make sense? This gets really, really, really confusing when we start to grow our own businesses, when we have this desire to be entrepreneurs, and suddenly there is no one telling us what to do in exchange for a paycheck. Like, yes, we may have people that we listen to or get the opinions of others, but at the end of the day, it's our business and our business alone, right? And so we can really begin to doubt ourselves because for the first time, we are fully responsible for that job description. And there are there's no lack of opinion on how to grow your business, or that you must do this one thing, or you must be on this one platform, or you must operate in this one specific way in order to make X dollars a month, in order to hit your goals, in order to whatever. And so that can further undermine our confidence, because if you have a million different people, even 5 different people that you're trying to follow on social media using 5 different strategies and telling you to do 5 different things, guess what? you're not going to do any of them well. And it's further going to undermine your confidence and bring up your self-doubt and most likely leave you feeling overwhelmed and hiding out. Have you ever experienced that? I know that I have. So when we look at confidence, the first thing that we need to understand is that confidence is a learned skill. It is a developable skill. For most of us, it is not something that you are inherently born with or not born with, and that is the way that it stays the rest of your life, like what color your eyes are, right? So it's actually a muscle that you can grow daily. And I think that sometimes when we're growing businesses, especially when we really like to do and check things off of a to-do list, like totally me, one of the things that we find ourselves completely prioritizing, sorry, I was looking over at the dogs, is just what we're going to check off the to-do list that day, right? What actions are we going to take to build our business? And so a lot of times working on our confidence, like intentionally on our confidence, actually gets pushed to the bottom of the list because it doesn't feel like this tangible thing, right? It doesn't feel like making a post on Facebook or reaching out to someone or any other number of things that you could be doing that feel like really tangible strategies to build your business and make more money. But let me ask you this. Is there something on that to-do list that you keep putting off because it's uncomfortable? Is there something on your to-do list that you know deep down could help you build your business? Whether it's like finally launching your website or creating an opt-in, starting an email list, or sending an email out to your email list if you have one and you haven't emailed them in a while, or just putting a Facebook post up once a day somewhere, sharing about what you're doing, or following up with people, finally deciding on what you're going to offer and how much you're going to charge, and then putting it out there. There's very likely, if you don't have what you want in business, if you're not consistently booking clients, there's very likely something that's a big overarching thing that's in your gut that you know you should be doing to grow your business, but that you're not doing right now, that you're procrastinating on because it's not perfect, because you feel unclear, because you're doubting yourself. Okay? So if that's the case, a lot of times, that can be helped by addressing your confidence first. So what I am saying is this. This is not a step to skip so that you can get onto the real business building stuff. This is a step, this is a to-do, this is an opportunity to grow in such a way that if you will prioritize it, it will make everything else in your business easier. Every strategy, every to-do, the most important to-dos, the ones that are going to make you money in your business, get immensely faster and easier when you first address your confidence. It's like if I'm a runner and I smoke, I know that my times are being affected, if speed is important to me, by the fact that I smoke and what I'm doing to my lungs. I know that if I quit smoking, then it's going to give my lungs the opportunity to heal and improve my overall health and my running speed. I realize it's a really weird analogy, but it's the one that popped into my head, because if I just keep saying, well, I'm just going to go do more sprints, I'm just going to train harder, whatever, but I'm not addressing the fact that like one simple shift, not saying it's easy. I have lots of friends and family who've quit smoking and said it was the hardest thing they've ever done. Maybe like overcoming your own self-doubt and growing your confidence. But if you make that decision and follow through on it day by day by day, choosing to work on your confidence, right? Choosing to ingrain that habit, then what happens is you find that the strategy gets simpler. that things get easier to get done. And you are not dealing with your own inner blocks, your own inner mindset issues, your own inner demons, your own stories that are holding you back or self-sabotaging you to the extent that you were before. Because the common ingredient in people who don't succeed in business is fear. Listen, I worked with a lot of people to help them quit their jobs and grow their businesses. And 75% of my clients who come to me in jobs quit, right? And if you've read my book, you've heard me share this. I was on Entrepreneurs on Fire, the podcast. And I shared that statistic. At the time, it was 70%. That was like a year and a half ago. It keeps going up. But the host, John Lee Dumas, said to me, well, what about the other 30%? Why are they not quitting their jobs? And the way I answered him is exactly what I'm going to tell you. Fear. Fear. How do we overcome that fear that is literally like programmed into us as human beings to try to keep us safe? We work on our confidence. Is this making sense? Because when the mindset is strong, when that confidence is strong, even 1% more than it is today, I'm not talking about you becoming like some flashy, non-yourself person, right? I'm not talking about you turning into a different personality. I'm talking about you. You hear my dogs wrestling? This is exciting. They get excited when I get excited. Isaac, come. Isaac, come. Leave your brother alone. Come. She's ignoring me because she knows I have my headphones in. She's very smart. Come. Lay down. Poco, leave your sister alone. Lay. Stay. Okay. Sorry about that. Dogs laying down. So when you begin to work on your, do the inner work, then everything else becomes clearer. Everything else becomes clearer, and running your business starts to feel fun and easy rather than something that's giving you anxiety and keeping you up at night. Or maybe if you haven't really started running it, but you're trying to get it started, rather than you holding yourself back and continuing to say, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it when I have 4 hours, I'll do it when I have a whole day, I don't have enough time, there are other things that, that take up my time and I can't find any time to work on the business. Rather than finding all of these reasons outside of yourself why this isn't happening, then you begin to go, I can do this. I choose to do this. I choose to figure this out. When you work on your confidence. Great news, it doesn't have to be something you just wake up and someone knocks you over the head and you have confidence and you have to wait for that person to do it. Although it would be great if that happened. This is something that you can begin to do today. And what I want to do is motivate and inspire you and show you exactly how to do that, so that you can walk away today, Motivation Monday, and start taking strategic action to build your business. So I'm curious, what has a lack of confidence been holding you back from doing? Like, where is it showing up in your business? Anne says, it's finances for me. I was doing them today, things I put off. Totally, oh my gosh, totally, right? Because it's boring or it's uncomfortable. We're like, ooh, I don't know what I'm going to find. Like, it feels a little scary, especially, a lot of us, I think, can get pretty freaked out by taxes and am I going to have to pay it? It's something I don't understand, but now I have to do it because I'm like in business for myself. Here in the US, it's tax time, right? So where is that lack of confidence showing up in your life? I know that for me, when I was getting started in my business, it showed up in fear of visibility. Like, I didn't want to share with the people in my life, like my people who are already friends, what I was doing. That felt really uncomfortable. And then I didn't want to keep posting about it because I didn't want to be one of those people who only ever talked about that and who was like pushy and weird and sent people like scripts where I knew every, the they were sending the same thing to every person all the time. And like, it was awkward and I didn't like feel like a person. I didn't want to feel weird. I didn't want to be weird. I didn't want to be a weird person. I just spent most of my life feeling weird, right? Like I didn't want to make myself feel more of an outsider. I didn't want to pressure people, have them feel uncomfortable either. Like, it's a pretty big value of mine is like respecting other people's privacy, not getting into other people's business is a big reason I didn't major in journalism in school, because I didn't like the reporting piece of it and like prying into people's, lives when they didn't want me to. Of course, now with my clients, I like work on super deep stuff. That's because they're available for it, right? So I found it hard to put myself out there, right? Or like when I decided that I was gonna pitch an article to the Huffington Post, like first one that I pitched, I didn't hear back on, and I was like, I'm never pitching again, right? Like I had a really hard time with the failure, of not getting accepted. And I had a really hard time being confident day to day in my own abilities, showing up consistently, calling myself an expert even before I had worked with clients, or thinking of myself in that way as somebody who could help people get results, right? That imposter syndrome, I know that a lot of you have experienced that too, because I hear it all the time. But I share with you that like I've gone through all that because I want you to know it's possible to move through it and build a successful business on the other side, right? So Anne says, uncomfortable looking at my bank statements. Totally. So, and it's normal. We want to avoid discomfort, right? If something hurts on our body, we, move, shift around, take some medicine, whatever, to alleviate that. So it's kind of like human nature to avoid the discomfort. And then what happens is that becomes a habit, and that habit then can lead to something where we self-sabotage, right? Rather than looking at what's underneath. Is it a lack of confidence? Is it self-doubt? Is it fear? That's holding me back from taking that action in my business. So what if you made this the most important thing that you could do in your business? What if you said, nothing happens in my business, I don't take any action until I'm feeling more confident than I am in this moment? What if you did that? My friend Dana Wilde has built 2 7-figure businesses, says that one of the keys to her success is feeling good first, like making that a priority. And I'll be honest with you, when I first heard her say that, I was like, well, that sounds hedonistic, right? That was my judgment and my lack of understanding about what she meant. I was like, feeling good? That seems like doesn't do anything. I just go give me some to-dos and I'll just go get them done. I'll just go like push through it and I'll get it done, right? Like I'll just do it. But truly what was happening is, yeah, I was checking stuff off of a to-do list every day. And also there were really important projects that I was putting off in my business because they either felt too big and overwhelming, or because they felt too scary, or both, or all three. Because I wasn't doing the work of getting to feeling good first. Getting to feeling good first. So doesn't mean hedonism. What it means is being conscious of from what place you are taking action in your business. Are you taking action from a place of feeling like this is working, like you are moving forward? Or are you taking action from a place of desperation, hoping that your business is going to prove itself to you first and then you're going to feel better? All right? So what if you started inside before going external? Here's what I mean. Dan Miller, who wrote the career and entrepreneurial classic, 48 Days to the Work You Love, Someone I've had the pleasure of meeting personally. He's the real deal. His book sold almost 1 million copies, just that one book. He says that 85% of your work, in order to find the work that you love and live it out, to live your passion, 85% of that work is internal. 85%. It's knowing yourself. It's addressing the things that are holding you back, right? So whereas most of us, and I think like culturally and societally, we try to take everything external, like what's the best market to go into? What's the best industry to go into? What are people around me charging? What are they offering? And we don't look first at how do I tick? How do I work? Where do I suffer from a lack of confidence? Let me address that first and take action after I have addressed the most important piece. It totally seems counterintuitive, but literally there is nothing more important that you could do. Have I convinced you yet? Here's what I want you to know. Building confidence can be as simple as working on it 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day. The people who do these exercises that I'm about to share with you notice a change in their income and their outlook very quickly. However, way more people don't do them than do and continue to suffer from a lack of confidence and an abundance of self-doubt. So what's one very tangible to do, because I know we all have to-dos, that you could walk away with right now to increase your confidence today, that you could do in 5 minutes? Start what I call a confidence resume. Have you heard me talk about this before? My dogs are rustling again, you guys. I am confident that I am going to let them outside into the cold if they don't stop right now. If you have dogs and you work at home, you know what I'm talking about. Isley, come. Come here. Come here. Say hi. Tell everyone what you've done. Come here. Isley. She has a little look on her face. Isley. She has one blue eye and one brown eye. You're being naughty. Can you lay down, please? Lay down. I want you to stay. Testing my confidence. All right. So, have you created your confidence resume yet? Have you looked inward to reflect on the things that you've accomplished? Have you? Have you done it? I have a template for this inside of Know Your Niche, my self-study program, which you can get on my website. I also have a list of prompts that you can start with in the book. But here's what I want you to know. It's really about starting to recognize and remember all of the stuff that you've done rather than minimizing it because you're uncomfortable receiving praise, or you feel like it's never enough, or you've got some other icky story underneath. So really silly but obvious example for me is that before I started doing this work, like I didn't have my, I consciously chose not to display like my diplomas. You know, when I was working in a 9-to-5 in my office, I was like, oh, I don't need to put those up there. That feels weird. Like, well, guess what? It's credibility building. It's credibility building for some people. For me to look up and realize that I had done, 6 years of post-high school work, that I had 2 degrees I had worked really hard for and gotten scholarships for, and all of this stuff, and the opportunities that I had chosen while in school. Simple thing, right? Simple thing. Or that, I had found a way to have a horse as an adult. I didn't grow up with them, right? That I had figured that out on my own, that I had produced a documentary, that I had done some really cool things in my life and accomplished some really cool things in my life that showed that I was capable. That showed that I was capable. And not only had I accomplished some really cool things that I could be proud of, but also I had survived some really hard things, right? And so have you. Most of you know that I survived the loss of my first daughter, Maeve. Most of you know that I went on to have and go through a subsequent pregnancy and have what they call in the loss community a rainbow baby. And most of you know that I am now expecting another rainbow baby. And guess what? That takes serious guts and courage to go through after having experienced a full-term loss in pregnancy, right? I can be proud that I made that choice. I can be proud that I survived that loss. I can be proud that I've made something positive out of it. And that gives me confidence that I can take on other things. Because if I could do those things, what can't I do? Right? And the same is true for you. If you and I were talking right now and I was helping you with your confidence resume one-on-one, we would discover and pull out those things for you as well. Isley. But you can go, I'm not listening today, but you can go and do them for yourself. You can go and do them for yourself right now. You can start with 5 minutes of things that you're thankful you've accomplished, things that you're proud of, things that you did in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, your 20s, whatever, your 30s, your 40s, doesn't matter how old you are, your 50s, your 60s, I don't care, right? Work with clients of all ages. We all have stuff that we've accomplished and that we've survived to be proud of. So that's a confidence resume. If you write that down and you read it every day, it will change your life and it will change your business because you will show up in a different way. You will show up as a confident person who believes that you can help others. You may have heard it said that the most important thing that you can do to sell products or services to customers is to first be sold on yourself. And a lot of times what I see is people trying to sell things in order to prove that they're worth it or they're valuable. Like, validate me by buying my thing. If you don't buy my thing, that means I'm not worth it. My business isn't worth it. Like, I'm doomed to fail. And chances are we've all felt that way at some point, but is that a recurring thing for you? Are you looking for clients or customers to buy your thing, to buy your service, to buy your package, to buy your product in order to prove that your business is successful, in order to prove that you're worth it? Or do you believe your worth or your work in the world is worthwhile and that the right people are going to come to you and your job is to show up and say, I know this work is life-changing. I know, in my case, and maybe your case too, I know I am a damn good coach. I know how I show up for my clients. I know the results that they get. I know what I provide, and I believe in it, and I'm passionate about it, and I'm going to keep showing up because I believe that what I'm building is worthwhile. I believe that what I have to offer is worthwhile. Do you see the difference in that and going, I'm going to put this offer out there, and I really hope people take me up on it because I need to know that I'm doing the right thing, right? I need other people to tell me that this is the right offer to make, right? So when you get sold on yourself first, you show up from a completely different place. You grow your business much, much faster. Other people can feel that. They're drawn to it. And the confidence resume is a great way to accomplish that. Confidence resume is a great way to accomplish that. So if you haven't already tried that, I want you to. Another thing that I would recommend that you do is to remember this phrase: action relieves anxiety. Action relieves anxiety. A lot of times, if we're feeling self-doubt about something that we want to accomplish, let's say it's create some new content to put out there, or do a live stream, or create a website, or an opt-in, make an offer, it feels too daunting. The truth is that the actual figuring out of it is often not the hard part. It's just the overwhelming nature of what it means to do that. So meaning like you're a very capable person, right? Like you've accomplished a lot in your life. You have experienced a lot in your life. You've figured it all out up to this point. So it's likely that literally sitting down and creating the proper grammar and syntax for a Facebook post is not a challenge for you. Is not the challenge for you, but thinking about, oh my gosh, I have to find the exact right words, or people aren't going to do what I ask them to do, or oh my gosh, what people think of me? What if they think I'm stupid? What if no one reads it? What if no one engages? That's the hard part. Thinking about it is hard, right? The doing of it is actually easy if we take away all that thinking. How do we minimize that chatter in our head? We just set a timer for 5 minutes. You know, I love that 5 minutes. Set a timer on your phone for 5 minutes and say, I got to write a post in 5 minutes. Doesn't matter how good or bad it is. Give your brain a time frame to work within. 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes to write a post. It can be as short or as long as I want. Just going to get something out there. You got to break the ice, right? Break the ice, and you will find that action relieves anxiety because you are telling your brain, this is not as scary as we thought. This is not as overwhelming or as hard. I literally can sit down and write a Facebook post. I literally can sit down and write a paragraph for my website, right? And then you can move forward. Does that make any sense? Am I making sense to you all? Let me know. I want you to know that this has been a key. Consistently working on my confidence, consistently helping my clients work on theirs is a key to my 20K months, right? Is a key to my clients quitting their jobs, booking premium priced clients in a way that feels easy and fun, having a business that supports their life rather than when they work 80 hours a week, right? These are simple, proven strategies that might almost seem too simple. You might be like, but Christine, like, whatever, give me the complicated stuff. It's just like making a gratitude list. I resisted making a gratitude list for years because I was like, there's got to be something more complicated that's going to help me fix, my anxiety and my perfectionism. Guess what? Gratitude is made a massive shift in my life. In fact, Dr. Joe Dispenza says, gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership because you are being grateful for things that have already happened. You're trusting the process, right? You're reminding yourself, again, just like the confidence resume, of things that you've done, of things that you have, of things that you're grateful for, and literally flooding your brain with positive chemicals from which you can take better action to build your business. I'm not saying action isn't important. I love action. I love me some simple strategies. I love me some to-do lists. You know what's at the top of my to-do lists? Mindset practice. You know what's at the top of my to-do list? Building my confidence. Using things like a confidence resume. There is no shame in reading something because guess what? You've trained your brain to forget all the awesome stuff that you've done and look for all the ways that you're still lacking. And that's why you feel the self-doubt and lack of confidence because you don't have this or you don't have this, and you're telling yourself this story, very likely, that you're not allowed to have what you want because you don't have X, Y, and Z. You don't have a supportive partner. You don't have more startup capital. You don't have the perfect idea. You don't have better pictures. You don't have the perfect website. You didn't start 5 years ago. Whatever, right? You don't make more money. You have debt. Whatever the reason you're telling yourself that you can't do it. You have lots of gray hairs. You're not blonde, right? Whatever it is. You're not taller. You're not shorter. You're not younger. You're not older. We all have versions of that stuff. And your job is to say, but I'm going to do it anyway. But I'm going to do it anyway. Instead of staying stuck. It's to take action to build your confidence rather than waiting to feel confident. Because if you're waiting to feel confident and you're not doing anything about it, it's like waiting to get fit and sitting on the couch all day, right? No difference. Confidence is a muscle. Research has proven this over and over. So tell me, what specific action are you going to take to build your confidence so that you can take those other strategic actions you want to take, right? Something you've been procrastinating on. It's about fear. It is not about you not being capable or able or whatever to do it. It is about it being time for you to address the underlying problem, just lack of confidence. And great news, something you can do in 5 minutes a day. If you will actually prioritize this, come back to me in a month. I guarantee you will have a completely different outlook on your business and very likely some tangible results in terms of money, in terms of visibility, in terms of moving forward that you can point to. So I'm not saying that that you have to make this hard. Might be a little uncomfortable at first because it's new. But what I am saying is if you will prioritize it and use these simple proven strategies, like taking action for 5 minutes a day to just prove to yourself that you can do it, that's going to build your confidence. Trying some of these things that have been scaring you, right? Literally the authors of The Confidence Code, which is a book about how women build confidence. It's really thick. It's a really long listen. Here's a big takeaway for you. Research showed, when the authors did it, that trying stuff, my very scientific way of summarizing this research-based book, trying stuff is what built confidence. Not sitting around thinking about it, waiting to become confident. Trying stuff. Okay? So you got to get out of your head a little bit. Write down what you've accomplished on paper. Read it back to yourself. Allow yourself to feel proud of those things. Set a timer and take 5 minutes of action. Literally, my high-level clients use that strategy. They find themselves getting visible, writing posts, making a short video, reaching out for a connection, right? Doing things that lead to making money in their business. Doing things that lead to replacing their income. 5 minutes. It could not be any simpler. And I hope I've motivated you to give that a try because it could not be any simpler. Now here's the deal. I'm not saying not to get help on this stuff, right? Sometimes we need someone to hold us accountable and help us figure out the right stuff to do, help pull that confidence out of us, help make the plan, help move past whatever we're feeling like we can't do on our own. That's what I do with my clients, right? Confidence is part of our work together, and then building that simple action plan that you can go do on repeat to book those paying clients, to make more sales. And you may know that I'm expecting a baby this summer. And so I will be taking the summer off from coaching. So what I decided to do, because I closed my 6-month mentorship in order to wrap that up before the baby comes, and it's been closed for a while. What I decided to do was to create a program that would help you with these first few steps. And that's the From Stuck to Signing Clients 90-day sprint. It closes this Friday. It closes March 1st. And so if you have been looking for high-level, quick, targeted support every week to help you move forward, to get unstuck, to stop procrastinating, to build your confidence so that you can make more money in your business, so that you can very quickly book those clients, and so that we can make a plan, test, tweak, refine, prove, and complete a plan for you to do that replicably and consistently going forward. And that's what the From Stuck to Signing Clients 90-day sprint is. It's an opportunity for you to get that one-on-one targeted, customized support, to move toward replacing your income, to move toward quitting your job, to book that first group of paying clients as soon as you are ready, and do it while feeling more confident. Stop holding yourself back. Stop getting yourself stuck and staying stuck. I'm going to drop the link in the comments for that. You can check it out. You can book a call with me if this is something you'd like to talk about and find out if it's right for you right now. This is the last chance to work with me to replace your income until the fall. This is the last way that you will be able to work with me as your coach in a package like this until the fall. So if you've been thinking about it, if something has been drawing you, if you really want to replace your income, if you want to do it in a way that actually feels good rather than like you're beating yourself on the back trying to force yourself to do stuff all the time, if you want to feel motivated and excited to do it, you're feeling motivated and excited by this video and you want to take the next step with me, this is how to do it. This is the 90-day from stuck to signing clients sprint designed to help you get fast results in 90 days. I want to hear from you. I want to hear how this is going. Let me know what you're going to spend your 5 minutes of action on today. Let me know what's one thing on your confidence resume that you're proud of. Share with me in the comments so that I can cheer you on. Have a wonderful day. Here's to your income replacement. And go take 5 minutes today of passionate action.